Hi, it's me, Paco, and you're watching Bad Witch Books. Today we are going to be going over the December wrap-up. It is the first official video of the year. There was a video that came out the day before this, but it is the first official, regular scheduled video. We are going to be going over all the books I read in December. I cannot believe that we are already in 2024. New year, new me, but let's just knock out these book reviews for each of these books. So I read a total of 8 books. I had a really slow month. If you know me, you know that in December I legit had 4 days off the entire month. It was super busy. Life sucked. 4 days off until Christmas. It was just not a great it was just very busy work month. So I did not read a lot. I was mentally tired a lot of the times, but we made it through. We survived. We persevered because we are what? Bad bitches. So let's get into it. We'll first go over the 2 books that I read that I do not own because they were ebooks, and then we will go over the books that I read that I own. So the first book that I read the ebook of was Mistletoe and Mishigas. I forget the author's name, but the author's name in the video will be right here of this, but this book follows Sheldon, who is a first grade teacher who has just been transferred. I think after Thanksgiving break, they are transferred to a new school that is in desperate need of a first grade teacher. And he meets the grumpy janitor Teddy Theodore. It's something T. It's been a minute since I read this book. But this book is the sequel to Teacher of the Year, which I really enjoyed earlier last year. But, so he meets the grumpy, custodian there, and they kind of start to bond. And, it's a Grumpy Sunshine pairing. And, I know that his ex is getting married on Christmas, even though his ex dumped him on Christmas the year before. And he needs a date to it, and Teddy is like, I guess I'll go with you, because they start to become friends. And Teddy is like, but my parents are coming to town for Hanukkah, and can you pretend to be my boyfriend so that I can get my parents off my back? And then they pretend to fake date, and then romance ensues. It was really cute, really enjoyable. I like the talks about the issues that they both had, because Sheldon had abandonment issues from his terrible parents, and then Teddy was in the military, and then also had some weight issues because he's a plus size guy or bear. And it was really good. The romance was sweet. The smut was nice. I think I did prefer Teacher of the Year a little bit better though, but there was still some smutty scenes that were fun. But yeah, it took me a really long time to read this because I started this right when I got hit by the work mental downpour. And so, not even the downpour of work, a lot of work, but just, the mental part of it started to hit that when I started reading this. So it took me forever to read this, but I finally knocked it out. I gave this about, 3.5 stars. So the next book is the last book I read this year, and that is Three Kings by Ferris Moon, I believe is the author's name. And this book follows Ethan. What is his last name? Ethan, who is a trans witch lightkeeper, and his husband, Peter Vasquez, I believe is his last name. And one day, Peter, his captain husband, finds a injured sea lion and brings it home. And Ethan's like, that's a Selkie. And the Selkie is dying, and so Ethan, who is a witch, uses his power to bring the Selkie back to life. And oh my god, he's hot. It's basically the thought process. And the Selkie is still injured, so he stays with the 2 of them. And it gets good. This is a novella. Novella. But sorry, my I think telenovelas when I hear novella. But this is a novella, so it's only 140 pages. But this was really good. I want to read more of this author's work because yes, there was some smutty scenes. There was a cake involved. There was some raunchy shit that I loved, even though it wasn't all over the book, but it was really cute, and the relationships were really cute. The love between Ethan and Peter was really sweet, and then like when they added in the Selkie's name, I think is Nick. It was just really good. I really enjoyed this, and I'm gonna give this book 5 stars. And I do want to buy a physical copy and read more of this author's work. Now, let's get into the rest of the books that I read this year. So, by far, the best book I read this year, top book of the year, not year, but best book I read in December was A Fallen Day of Night. I read this motherfucker. A Fallen Day and Night by the legendary Samantha Shannon. This book can hurt a bitch. This is a heavy book. I listened to the audiobook of this, which was 36 hours, which, like, round of applause. It took me about, like, 3 weeks almost to listen to the audiobook for this. But I ate it up. It did take a while to get into because there are a lot of characters that you have to get used to. But once I got into the flow of it and I started seeing how this book affects Priory of the Orange Tree, which, like, if you don't know what Fallen Day and Night is about, this is a book that takes place in the same world as Priory of the Orange Tree, just 500 years earlier, which follows the events of the Great Tragedy, I believe it is called, the time period, or the Great... It's when all the, like, High Westons start showing up and fucking shit up. And so this book follows, it follows these, Tuva Melina, who's a sister of the Priory, the daughter of Queen Sabrin, Queen Gloriana, Princess Gloriana of Innis, and Dumai of the East. It follows those 3 women, and it also follows another character named Wolf, who I really loved, and I just really loved it. It is sapphic as fuck, queer normative world, which I really loved and love to see, and, like, that should be the norm. But I really enjoyed this. I love the magic, I love the dragons, I love seeing how the effects of this... What happens in this book affects Priory of the Orange Tree, which is why I would say it is funner to read Priory before you read this. Because I really did see a interview with Samantha Shannon that said that Priory of the Orange Tree is like that, like, good versus evil epic battle that you want. This book is about surviving an event. And I felt that. This book was very bleak at times, but, like, it was really good. I would highly recommend the audiobook. It was very good. Different narrator cast. But, like, so good. Samantha Shannon. These books are big as hell, and I love them. I loved it. Like, you're going to see in the next couple videos my top 10 books of the year, and don't be surprised if you see this author there. Another book that I really highly enjoyed was Painted Devils by Margaret Owenson. Painted Devils is the sequel to Little Thieves, which is a Goose Girl retelling about a girl who is the goddaughters of the goddess of death, and the goddess of fortune. But I really enjoyed this book. Follows Vanya as she accidentally creates a cult and a god. And she's like, I didn't mean to. What just happened? And I love it. It takes off from there. I love the humor in this book. Vanya is such an amazing character. I love her humor, her wit, her situation she ends herself up in. But it's really good. But that ending, and the romance. Oh, the romance is top tier. This is probably one of my favorite couples of the year. Emmerich and Vaja. My soul. Like, they were so good together. I loved them. But Margaret Owen, if I have to wait another, 3 years for the next book, because I didn't know there was going to be a 3rd book. If I have to wait another 3 years for the next book, it's on site. Because how dare you make me feel things? And how dare you leave it like that? Like, that's not fair. I'm joking. Any lawyers or FBI agents that are listening, I don't want to physically fight this person. I'm joking. I'm just going to clear in case something happens. I'm joking. All for humor. I loved Margaret Owens because of this book. It's so good. I love Painted Devils. I loved Little Thieves. I cannot wait for book 3. But that ending wasn't fair, and you know it. Not her. My lawyers will be calling. Sorry, you guys hear that. Next book I have here was my book club pick for the Enchanted Forest Book Club for December, and that was Catwoman Lonely City by Cliff Chiang. So this book is an alternate universe, so a separate world timeline of DC Comics, where 10 years ago, an event called Fool's Night took the lives of Batman, Commissioner Gordon, Joker, and Nightwing. And Selena Kyle was sent to prison for it. So now she's out. 10 years later, she's 50, I think. And Gotham has changed without its major players. Harvey Dent Two-Face is now the mayor of Gotham and runs it with an alternative police state. And things are just not looking good for anybody. And so Selena Kyle's like, well, I'm out, but when I was getting put away before Batman died in my arms, he said I needed to get something called Orpheus from the Batcave. And the Batcave is being kept under strict watch by Harvey Dent because they can't get in, but it's being kept high guard. And so Selena Kyle's like, I need to get a crew and do one last heist. And this is really good. This shows I heard someone describe this as Catwoman's Dark Knight Returns, and I think this is amazing. Like, this is quintessential book to read if you love Catwoman as a character. It is a deep dive into her as a character, and it was really fantastic, and I loved all the little references and stuff to other stuff. So I really enjoyed this 5 stars. Painted Devils was 4.5. Daylight Fallen Night, 5 stars. Okay, the next book, I need to preface this with saying, was it a good book? No. Was it good writing? No. Did I have a lot of fun listening to this audiobook? Hell yeah. Did the plot make sense? No. Was there a plot? No. But did I high-key enjoy myself? Yes. So, spiritually, this book is like 3 stars, maybe less. Spiritually, this book was like 4. Fun-wise, this book was 4. So, further ado, that is Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. This series, I want to study it because Kingdom of the Wicked, I was all bored. The series the world was so cool. The witchy stuff was awesome. It was cool. The second book, where did the plot go? We're just like lusting after each other. This book, where did the plot go? We are just fucking each other. Like, when I say we are fucking, we are fucking. Excuse my language, any children that should not be listening that are listening. But I was pearl gassed the whole time. I was like clutching my pearls the entire time listening to this book, which again was in itself an experience. So I think this book series is recommended as YA, but this book is not YA. This book said YA who? YA where? This is the Fairloot edition also, so it's really pretty. But I really enjoyed it. Like, I don't even want to tell you what the plot is because, like, there's no point in the plot. It's just a wild ride. And, like, not to give spoilers, but I feel like I just have to talk about this. Our main character is having issues with memory, and she is getting fucked so hard that she has a flashback that she doesn't remember of her getting fucked. And in that flashback, she's getting fucked until she climaxes, and then gets back into being fucked, and then is like, I was like, what is happening? As I'm listening to this while I'm mopping a kitchen out at work with my headphones in. Because if I didn't have headphones, then I would not be able to listen to this book at all. But it is a wild ride. I was shaketh. I will be continuing the series, though, because there is a spinoff series about this where it, like, follows each of the rest of the Princes of Hell, but those are strictly romances, and I'm hoping that she has realized her lesson that, like, no one cares about the plots, and we just want fun. Like, I will say, don't read Carrie Maniscalco if you want plot. Read it for vibes, because Stalking Jack the Ripper, I was like, what plot? I'm here for the atmosphere. This series, I did not enjoy it till the third one. The first and the third one I enjoyed. I enjoyed this one. The first one was good. The second one, I don't know. But I'm here for the wild ride that we're going to be going on. Like, they introduced vampires in this one, or they were introduced in the second one, but we just saw them a lot more. And, like, there's shapeshifters that were apparently in the first book, and I was like, when did the werewolves show up? But there was a murder mystery that apparently happened in this one that was like, why was that needed? So this book was wild, and, like, technically it should be like a 3 stars, but I high-key enjoyed this, so there's that. Okay, so the next book is What the River Knows by Isabel Anyes. I read this for a book club. This is a pretty Fairy Loot edition, but because we don't support Wednesday's books on this channel until they do their shit for their publishing shit, we're not going to talk about it. The last book is Gideon the Ninth. This was technically the first book I read this year by Tamsin Muir. This was the first, not year, but this month, the first book. I was in a majority of it in November, but I did finish, like, I probably had, like up to 3/4 of it done, and then I finished the last fourth in December. But I enjoyed this. This follows Gideon, who, along with Gideon's like a knight, basically, for this I don't even want to describe it because all I heard was necromancers in space, lesbian necromancers in space, and that is just the best way to describe it. Because, like, if you go into the plot, there is a plot in this one, and it's just crazy, but it's, like, hard to describe. So I don't think you should, so I won't, but I'll just say I loved Gideon as a character. Gideon's humor was fantastic. I loved their relationship with Harrow, and I'm intrigued to see what happens next. But yeah, I gave this, like, 4 stars. So that is my December. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry that we had to go a little crude when talking about Kingdom of the Feared, but to be fair, don't blame me, blame the book. But I post new videos every Friday. I do vlogs every Wednesday, and I will randomly post a video, I guess. Yeah. But new year, new me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Comment down your favorite book of the month you read or what you read this month or last month. But I will see you guys later.